Same with others, whether it's food trucks or event centers or, just other businesses. And I just try and help them grow. And so it's cool to see that. But then I also like to work on myself and my businesses and grow those as well. So that's kind of what I do now is I just entrepreneur it and see what comes next.
You get a lot of different things going on. I was thinking while you're saying, you said something I like is, you said something effective. I get to help people and I like that. And I was thinking, man, you spent like the majority of your life or a good portion of it, at least in service, like whether that's full-time public service in the military or other volunteer service or, even now, like, was that intentional? Like, have you always have you just always found fulfillment and purpose in service or?
I think so. Looking back, cause I've thought about this before and I'm like, that's where I find myself all the time is I have passions and then I love, helping people succeed in those passions. Yeah. Right. So like skiing and snowboarding, like I was an instructor for so long and it's still to this day, I just get super excited when I help someone learn how to ski or snowboard and they do it. And I'm like, yes. Or like personal training. And I'm like, I'm helping them get in shape and I see them lift something they haven't been able to or get in really good shape. Like for some reason that just gets me really excited. But then also, like the military, there was no like, I'm not like per se helping people or whatever, but I'm just like putting myself in the position, like I have this ability and I'm able and willing to help and serve when others can't or won't.
Yeah.
Like I think I've always been that way, even since I was a little kid. My mom tells a story of me as a little kid standing up to these other big kids because they were screwing around and doing something they weren't supposed to. And then I saw what happened, but I wasn't scared. And these big kids threatened me. And I just stood there and I told them I wasn't scared at all. And she's like, wow, I've never seen like a little guy like that. And you weren't scared at all. And so maybe that's where my mentality comes from with like the military too, is like, I have this ability, I will serve. I'm not scared and I will just do those things. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a service thing. And, like mission stuff we talked about, all of it. I just find myself in helping people and it excites me. Honestly, I think my dream would be if I was like, I need to figure out how to get more money, like just tons of passive income. But I would just love to coach high school football. And I'm like, you don't even have to pay me if I had a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But to just coach high school football because I can impact a lot of people for change. And then there's my competitiveness and like excitement there. And then I would just love to like live in a van. Coach high school football, live in a van, maybe be some ski patrol and that's it, and just like, and mentor people.
Yeah.
Like for free. That you see a lot of that now where people are like, yeah, pay me like $5,000 a month and I'll mentor you in your business. And I'm like, really? I just want to help you. You don't have to pay me. Yeah, I need to be financially free and stable. But I just want to help people. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
I think it's great, man. It's obviously works well for you so far. And so
I hope so.
Yeah. So we got 15 minutes here left ballpark. What haven't we covered that you want to cover?
I think we covered all of it.
Covered some pretty good stuff.
Went down some rabbit holes.
We did. I love that. Something that I was thinking about, if you don't mind going here, was around, you talked about emotional, I believe what you said, you were talking about emotional intelligence and how it starts with becoming self-aware. But looking in that proverbial mirror is a really hard first step, to take an honest look at yourself and be like, man, there are parts of me that like you said, someone like says like, parts of me suck, like, or said differently, like, parts of me have made bad decisions. Like I made bad decisions and I've done some things and like, it's just freaking hard, really, really hard to look at yourself in the mirror to be like, I don't know. I just think it's hard. So I was curious if you have any thoughts on, I don't know, when you talk to people and they are, maybe they're early on their journey of developing some emotional intelligence. I mean, how do you coach them to get past some of those early hurdles?
Right. And I think it's has to do with mindset. Now, what your mindset is, we talked about failure earlier.
Yeah.
And what is failure? But growth. It's learning. So oftentimes they say fail fast and learn faster. Right. In the business world.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to grow. So is anyone perfect? No.
Of course not.
So you look at it and you look and you're like, I failed. what can I learn from this? And that's how I've approached a lot in my life from, I would say, like teenage years, late teenage years, probably like at Snow College and stuff. And I was like, okay, I failed. What am I going to learn from this? And I think that's that piece that you have to internalize.
Hmm.
So you have that self-awareness and you're like, yeah, I messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I learn? What do I learn? I'm going to mess up more. Everybody messes up, whatever, but I'm going to learn from this. What am I going to learn? And that's personal for everybody, but you have to have that mindset change, right? You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, switch your mindset to growth mindset instead of like, a lack or victimhood or anything like that. I mean, you could go on, like we mentioned earlier, like I'm this black kid growing up in White Spirit, Utah. I could pull the victim card all day long,
Yeah.
but I don't. I was not taught to be a victim. I am not a victim. And you are not a victim of your circumstances. Yeah, bad things happen. Everyone has their freedom of choice and they can do bad things to people. But what are you going to learn from it? So here's another great book. It's called The Choice. It's by Dr. Edith Eger.
Okay.
She was a survivor of the Holocaust.
Oh, wow.
And she became like a full PhD psychologist, and she's still alive. She's 94 or 98, something like that. She was a teenager.